Hi there, welcome back to another week of Counter-Strike game and skin market update. This is Skinomics2, and this video covers the 19th to 25th of May 2025. Let's start with the Armory Pass. Stickers and charms have remained strong, whilst weapon collections have faltered. In particular, the Overpass, Graphic, and Train collections have been horrid in returns. Additionally, whilst cases remain positive return to redeem via the pass, their unboxing returns fall in line with most other cases, at between 50 and 70% return on unboxing. Moving on, I did want to briefly touch on the Fever Case knives, with data for the skeleton knife as an indication. The odds for doppler finishes appear to have been fixed, which differs from previous conclusions. Black Pearl is back to being the rarest phase of them all, whilst all doppler phases add up to the number of other finishes. Now, let's talk about cash. FMPone, whom is the creator for the beloved map which was adored by the community in CSGO, has sold the rights for the map to Valve after updating it for CS2. Subsequently, Gabe Fowler spotted cash being mentioned in the source code of the game. FMPone has now shifted his focus on creating skins for the eventual cash collection, given it is highly likely to be added into the competitive map pool. We'll now shift our focus to the biggest news of the week, and that is the addition of stickers as well as the viewer pass for the upcoming Austin Major. Valve has finally abandoned the repetition for borderless stickers, instead curating a Texas theme design for this major. Curiously, glitter versions of stickers have been replaced by foils, which I personally do not prefer. Regardless, I think it is great to see some change. Moreover, as Thor pointed out, the paper versions of the new stickers now glow in the dark. This is the first time any paper stickers have stood out, and I think this is a welcoming change. This change also coincides with the source code mentioning a night version of the map Ancient, which may or may not release in the future. Another potential change with this major is how souvenir packages will work. Multiple content creators have pointed towards charms being part of the collections. Specifically, Remix on Twitter has noticed something called an event highlight reel charm, which suggests that charms to be dropped with the weapon will feature some sort of highlight from the game, which the souvenir is from. Unfortunately, the headlines are not all good news this week. With the release of the stickers, it has basically confirmed Legacy was standing for Bestia in the major, despite Bestia qualifying. The reason given by Blast was related to visas. Apparently Bestia has submitted their visas late by the span of a single day. The community sentiment lies with Bestia. As in previous majors, teams with visa troubles were able to obtain extensions all the way up to a couple days before the tournament. Ultimately, it is looking like the frustration will lead to a lawsuit from Bestia founder Papo MC. Moving on again, with the major stickers also came some collaboration stickers with Warhammer. 72 stickers have been added across 4 capsules. What I have found to be slightly disappointing is that all the stickers are high grade, meaning they are paper only. Now I want to cover some of the major gameplay updates, which I have missed in the month of May whilst I have been away. We start with the Mission Possible update on the 8th, which saw Luckluster missions being added on a weekly basis for extra XP. The update came with 5 community maps, including the return of fan favorite Agency. On the 14th, Weapon Rarity Color was added back to the game. Then on the 16th, Deathmatch finally allows for unbalanced teams, which means everyone can use the AK if they desire now. Also on the 16th, the update fixed an issue discovered by a Redditor. Apparently, there was a sound delay between shots fired and body hits. The intention for the delay was to avoid sound obstruction. However, its removal improved the game by making it feel more responsive. Lastly, on the 22nd, recoil for weapons held are updated as per frame rate rather than tick rate, which means the view model is much more responsive. Let's take a look at the following clip from Thor. Before we move on, a couple weeks ago, the new number 1 float skin in the game was once again beaten by a weekly drop. The Mach 10 bronzer in question features 9 zeros, which triumphs the AUG Eye of Zapums with 5 Cato 14 Na'Vi hollows applied. No doubt the AUG owner is a very sad man at the moment. Finally, let's move on to our weekly craft idea. You can create your own autograph sticker for the Austin Major with any players that has a sticker in between Krakow 2017 and Katowice 2019. You can do this by layering a foil autograph over a foil team sticker from the Austin Major, then scraping the autograph until desired. No doubt this will be most often done with s1mple and Faze, given s1mple joined too late to receive a sticker for the Major. Switching gears to the market, the Skinomics 2 index, which contains a list of items I use to represent the market, increased by 1.97% this week. As I predicted on the 4th of May in Discord, the market did indeed undergo a major correction after its explosive growth at the end of April. Regardless, we are back on a stable trajectory upwards now, which is great news. In a similar fashion, the eSport Fire Index, which contains a list of 300 high-value liquid items, saw the same correction and returned to stable growth over the past month as well. Moving on to buff value of trade and trade volume data sourced from itrade.gg, the market has returned to a period of steadiness after the action period earlier this month. With the total value and volume data sourced from SteamDT, we see a similar picture, although we can see volume eager to trend upwards again. Overall, the latest period of consolidation is good news for the health of the skins market. Now, let's break the skin market movements down into categories. Starting off with knives and gloves, most items in this category saw solid recovery during the week. Higher tiered weapon skins increased overall as well, with the M4 Printstream being a significant winner this week. The same cannot be said for agents, which have experienced a slight decline in the week. Last but not least, we saw the affordable weapon segment declining as well, although the decreases are not large from an absolute dollar value perspective. Moving on, according to CS2 case tracker, case unboxing numbers remained high in the past month at over 8 million per week. Player numbers have also remained high, with daily peak players between 1.6 and 1.8 million. The higher case unboxing numbers have not resulted in general case price growth, but rather only a selection. For example, this week, the Gamma collection fared well in terms of price, whereas the Prisma collection did not. Active cases have had a relatively poor week. The newest actively dropping case, Kilowatt case, is now showing a clear trend down as items within continue to flood the market. Let's now take a glimpse at this week's biggest winners and losers. We have seen volatility across older souvenir packages over the past few weeks. This week, the 2019 Nuke package gained, whilst the 2018 Mirage and Dust 2 packages lost. Other winners were the Lier Marcio from the discontinued Operation Riptide case, as well as the cash ping following the news of the map's likely return. The other loser includes the Souvenir Tornado from the old Inferno collection. Onto the top trades of the week sourced from the skin trading site itrade.gg. Quite an exciting week on buff, whereby a Wild Lotus with 4 Cato 14 Vox Holos fetched almost $100,000. The second and third places were mint condition Hedge Mazes and Crimson Kimonos respectively, each demanding over $45,000. On CS Float, 2 blue gems took the top 2 places, number 1 the top Nomad pattern, and number 2 a tier 1 Karambit pattern. The third place saw a red line with 3 Cato 14 iBuy Power Holos. Moving into game news, there were 2 updates this week, one of which we have covered as part of the headline, and the other being a minor update to the map Jura. Now onto the pro scene. Whilst I was away, Vitality continued their winning streak by beating Falcons to the Blast Rivals spring season, and Spirit took home PGL Ostina in the absence of Vitality in the tournament. Vitality will play in the final against Mouse for IEM Dallas Trophy at the time of this video. If they win, their winning streak will be extended to 30, which is the longest by far in the modern Counter-Strike era. In other news from the past couple of weeks, ATOX saw 3 members receiving a permanent ban by ESIC, including the team analyst Newcar. Eternal Fire signed an entirely new Turkish roster. s1mple joined Faze for IEM Dallas and Austin Major only. Odic benched Matios this week. I am still open to skin donations, and a reminder to join my Discord. Please like, share and subscribe. On that bombshell, that was all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.